cashless bail in DC, empowering the National Guard, and not burning the flag. Those are the 3 executive orders Donald Trump signed today during his press conference. And here's the tea you need to know. Essentially, Donald Trump came in talking the same shit he usually talk. He talked about what's going on in Chicago and went back and forth as to whether he was actually going to do anything about that. He talked about how he's changed the crime rate in Washington, D.C. in such a great time and how he's doing such a great job. And then he went into the executive orders that he signed. So the first executive order is to bar cashless bails. So it was to bar or ban cashless bails. And I want to explain this to you. I took the time. I stuttered because I want you to understand how important what he's saying is. So first off, the first executive order is for the Attorney General to be able to look up. So one, they're getting rid of, or they're trying to get rid of cashless bails. So cashless bails in Washington, D.C. are now not a thing. But in an effort to get rid of cashless bails all around the United States, because it's technically you can't force nobody to do it. What the executive order allows is it allows Jane Shapiro, or whatever her name is, to find all cities and states with cashless bails and pull their federal funding if they're going to continue to allow things like that. They said they don't want people who don't support common sense laws. And it's just common sense that cashless bails shouldn't be a thing. Also, specifically for the one for Washington, D.C., they talk about with denying the bail, that people serve federal time. Like whatever you're being charged with, that's the time that you're charged. If you're denied that cashless bail. So if you go to jail for murder, whether you did it or not, you're going to federal prison. And that's specifically for Washington, D.C. All right. So that's the 2 cashless bail executive orders. Now, this executive order, the National Guard executive order, is the most interesting of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me the most interesting executive order of them all. And it's the National Guard one. So listen, it's the T on the National Guard. So essentially what Donald Trump is allowing in this executive order is he's allowing Pete Hegseth to go into every state and hire and train personnel who are essentially would be personnel who are boots on the ground. Like, because one of the biggest feedbacks was that the Army and National Guard, they're not trained for civilian, like, to do what they're doing. So what he's doing now is Donald Trump wrote an executive order saying that Pete Hegseth has the right to, in D.C., train their National Guard, hire or find people within their National Guard to train to be personnel officers, people who just roam and patrol the streets. And then he said, additionally, he can go into other states and in their National Guard train, hire, or pick people to be street patrolmen for the city. That's what the third executive order said. That's interesting to me. That's interesting. Okay, so after that, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, and the crew all spoke. J.D. Vance talked about how we should be thanking Trump because there's been 0 killings, and essentially he saved 2 times 22 people life, because usually there'll be 2 killings a day, and it's been 11 days with no killings, so it's at least 22 people that should be thanking Donald Trump, because without him they wouldn't be here today. Pam Bondi got up and talked about how serious they're taking what's going on in Washington, D.C. and the positive effect that they've had, XYZ. Okay, let me look through my my notes, because they had some reporter questions that I think was good, and there are some things that I didn't want to miss that I wanted to tell y'all, but I wanted to make this short enough for y'all to watch it all the way through. All right, Trump said in D.C. he has arrested 439 illegal immigrants, 6 MS-13 and sent them back to where they belong. Found 2 missing children and got them back to their house, and removed 49 homeless encampments. He also made a statement alluding to the fact that Biden's pardons were worthless because he signed with an auto pen. So that's very tricky as well, because it sounds like he might be trying to do some crazy shit. They talked about the I forgot to tell you about the flag burning executive order. So they signed an executive order to ban flag burning. I'm gonna leave that in there. So under the First Amendment, you can burn flags. But what I learned and through my research is that what they're trying to do is get you on a technicality. So if you burn a flag, especially if they can prove it was in a malice or hateful way, in an environmental unfriendly way, they're gonna try to give you, Donald Trump say, a 1-year felony. You have to serve, and there is no early release. So even though you have the right to burn a flag, they're going to try to get you on a tick. And so that's the third executive order, making it illegal to burn flags with malice if they can prove it. So that. Donald Trump was given an honorary Marshall's badge. And I said, damn, he didn't get the Peace Prize, but he got a Marshall's badge. And I'm going to say this because I feel like this is the opinion part of my shit. He's still begging for that fucking Peace Prize. With that being said he technically ended 10 wars or helped end 10 wars, and his tariffs had something to do with that. And then he started to name some of the places like India, where India already said he didn't, Iran, Pakistan, who else? Africa, Ukraine. He said he thought Ukraine would be easier to end, but he don't know what's going on with that, but he still thinks there's hope. Oh, and when asked if he was going to go into Chicago or any other states, he said he thinks it's just best to wait until they ask. So he said he could go in if he wanted to. He might go in, but he's trying to wait for the mayor to ask for their help, because one, he don't want people taking credit for his hard work, but he also don't want people saying that they don't want the military there. And then he kind of went for the mayor of D.C. He was like, she a good lady, but she also said she didn't want the military there. And he was like, well, that's not very nice. He said he going to sue Gavin Newsom. He said something about blue slipping, and he's going to, I think, sue for that as well. And when it comes to the Intel thing, because a lot of people were questioning him about how isn't it against like the law to buy into a public company. He said he did not buy anything from Intel. Intel decided to give him 10% of the company for the United States because it was in Intel's best interest. And he kept saying something about how he's not going to do anything to hurt Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security. But he did get a whole bunch of illegal immigrants off of it. So that's the tea you need to know about the latest call with Papa Trump. I think we're going to have another call later because somebody else is supposed to be coming visit us. But yeah, same shit, different day. But it's good to know that I don't think that he intends to actually mobilize to Chicago or anything like that. At least not for right now.